Travis Wayne Goodsell. So, it's post-conference, so the views have tanked. YouTube is victim-blaming me for what they themselves caused. And Mormons just don't care to learn the truth. They'd want to continue to live in ignorance because it's faith-promoting. And there are a ton of news because everybody is now covering the war in Israel. And there's some things that if you're paying attention, you catch. But the majority of you don't really pay attention. The liberal press, the deep state press, is under the belief that Israeli dropped the ball on the intelligence for this. No. Israel knows of the threat to Hamas, of Hamas. No. If you've been paying attention for the last decade, you know that Gaza has been a major problem. And Israel wants, it goes back and forth. Netanyahu wants to go back in and claim it as Israel territory. But Hamas has been the big problem. And so Netanyahu needs an excuse to go in with military force. And it was just a few years ago when Hamas pulled their other stunt and Netanyahu goes in. And the liberal press covered the squad in Congress who were calling out for death to Israel, exterminate the Jews. And so, yeah, I saw a Hamas leader or Palestinian leader. Palestinians give aid and comfort to Hamas. They're not victims of Hamas. Who was trying to claim that it's about Israeli occupation. No, it's not. No, it's not. Hamas, when you look at, and Stephen Colbert, he even came out and said, oh, it's complicated. No, it's not. It is not a complicated issue. You got to go back to the origins, which I did a whole video for you on Sunday when I heard the news. I am the foremost expert. Got other news stations interviewing other people that aren't experts, giving their biased opinions. I even heard one of them say, well, I think, change the channel. Not interested in a person who claims to be an expert who then says, I think. You're not an expert if you say, I think. Wrong. It's almost as bad as claiming to be an expert and then saying, well, I feel. Who gives a bleep about your feelings? Get feelings out of the news. And reactions. Dear God, psychology has just taken over the press. And they're ruining it. You know, and so I had to weed through all of the emotional crap. I want the facts. Just the facts. And so this is a problem, as we need facts during this type of event that will impact the world. And so our press is letting us down during this time of crisis. And Congress, after failing to shut down the government, after failing to coup the government previously on other attempts, finally it took a child sex predator and trafficker to shut down Congress. Oh dear God. And so yes, the whole voting for a new speaker, it's going to be a show again. And it's purposely done. They wanted the government shut down, and it didn't happen, and so they shut down Congress. Expect no vote for a while. Because only Congress can allocate money. Only Congress can declare war. Now, Biden can pull some strings because of past MAGA, GOP, pre-MAGA presidents, going all the way back to Nixon, as the fleet is already there in Israel to give military support to Israel. But they really don't need it. If you have not been paying attention to the news for the past couple of decades about Netanyahu's blitzkrieg, you are going to see some of the finest military operations that the world has ever known, despite the horrors of war. Unless he wants to pull a Putin. But Ukraine, we're not talking about Ukraine no more. There was one news that did one video segment on what's going on in Ukraine lately. Oh yeah, they're still at war too. And so America is providing security at all the synagogues here in the United States. But not a single state, not a single synagogue has been reported in America under attack or threat, except the state of Utah. The state of Utah was the only state that so far has had bomb threats. And then somebody was sending bomb threats to malls in Utah. Hello? Dumbass. What are you doing? Talk about your mental disconnect. Dear God, Mormons. And so we still don't know who sent the threats, whether it was Mormons or Islamists. But yeah, there were only pro-Palestine marches, mainly in Chicago, and there was one in here in Utah, and then there was others also, but the Chicago was the big one apparently in the news. And then the church. You know, I used to not be retired. I used to cover videos for you, cover the church news, and then I guess ABC 4 News Utah, and then KUTV 2 Utah, and then KSL 5 Utah were like, hey Travis, we need to be balanced. And so they again failed you as the press. Refusing to investigate the church was merely reporting the church news. But the church has come out in support for Hamas by being silent and instead doing a little article showing their support for Afghanistan with their latest earthquake that they had, but nothing about Israel. This is the time to draw your sides. Whose side are you on? And the church, by going silent, chose Hamas. The church wants this because other hitmen have failed them. It took a child sex predator trafficker to finally help the church. Oh my God. And so, yes, we are about to witness some very scary stuff in America because this is going to escalate. Like I said, there's already others getting involved already. And so it's expected that the gas and oil prices are going to plummet. So for those of you who can, are you storing up gasoline and oil in preparation? Or are you just going to assume, if it happens, it happens, and if I can't get to work, I'll just be fired? Is that how you live your life? Are you going to be prepared or not? This is the time where you've been warned the hurricane is coming right at you. Are you going to go to the store? Or did you already go to the store? Because if you try to go when the prices skyrocket, it's gonna be a little too late. Because the hurricane hit, and you will be forced to stay at home. So, it's sad that Mormons don't want to listen to my videos. They don't want to believe that I'm right, that the Book of Mormon is in the learning of the Jews. They can't believe that it's true. And they don't dare look and read for themselves to prove me wrong. I'm not going to debate Travis because debating is of the devil. You replaced Joseph Smith in his Book of Mormon. You have no excuses for your hatred. So, oh dear God. And so, yeah, the war is expected to escalate as we near the weekend, especially. And so it's unclear as to who will cause the problems here in Utah, but we already see the breakdown. And so, yes, Walgreens, I think it was Walgreens, they're about to go on strike now. I'm assuming that it's all of Walgreens, so that means Utah Walgreens. So that is coming. This is the year of strikes. Dear God. But Hollywood's back open, as the Writers Guild are already back open. Just in time for us to not be allowed to watch entertainment that they are now returning to the screen. as war will dominate. So, yeah, it's just, this is, I warned you about the news, that people were going to come out and give you misinformation. They refuse to go back to the origins, and they're trying to fix the current scenario to make it peaceful. They can't. You have to get Hamas and the Palestinians to recognize that they're latecomers, that they replaced the Jews, and so they have no rights. It's that simple. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Didn't want to do videos today. Nobody cares anymore. Just a few people who watch. That's about it. I've done the videos explaining all this for you. I let you know in advance. I gave you many years of planning and preparation for all this, and you chose not to listen. So, bye-bye.